Now, Di10Kong has got a 54-54 in this category, and Maniacal has a 54-21. So only about 30 seconds in between these guys. So again, looking like it's going to be a pretty good matchup here. So first things first, no partial categories here. We're going to be starting on series. And yeah, we're going to go from there. So I would expect both of these guys to be running what we call the old route, or KPDR, going through the bosses in the intended order. I would expect these guys probably to grab some safeties, maybe some extra E-tanks, probably a little bit extra missile packs. Not many people like to go with the 15 and 10. Now, I'm not sure how much Maniacal has done any percent. I think he's more of a hundo player, but he's certainly played it enough to get a pretty decent time in it. And I think any percent might be one of Diddy's like main categories. But we'll see what happens here. Looks like Maniacal's got just a little bit of an edge in these first series rooms. Both of them getting a clean final room, that's good. And Maniacal will be the first one landing on Zebus. It is definitely Zebus. It is not Zebes. That is just wrong. Anyways, let's see if any of our runners are going to be using Moonwalk. Maniacal's coming up to the climb. Oh, he's using Moonwalk. And Diddy just going for that normal fall speed. So Maniacal did gain a couple seconds on Diddy with that Moonfall. There's only one really other major one in this category, so won't make too much of a difference, but we will see Maniacal with a tiny lead here. Alright, these first couple of rooms, not too bad, but once we get back up the elevator, we're going to see a little bit more tricky rooms and possibly some lead changes depending on how it goes for these guys. Maniacal with a pretty good pit room there. Looks like Diddy's is going pretty well too. And now coming up to the climb, which can be a little bit tricky. It looks like both of the runners are going to be wall jumping up the right side, shooting some pirates in their way. And Maniacal had a very clean climb. Looks like Diddy's is looking pretty good too. And Maniacal not really letting up here, so he's going to be the first one going into Bomb Chorizo. Alright, Maniacal back in BT in the corner, picking up some missile drops. Ooh, we did walk into him though. But he recovers nicely and manages a pretty quick fight. Let's see if Diddy can also get a quick one here. It looked like he picked up all the drops when he didn't mean to, so he's gonna have to farm another round. But he also recovers pretty well. Alright, both of our runners out of Alcatraz. Looks like Diddy had a little bit of trouble there, but he's up alright now. And Maniacal just deboosting through these pirates. Health is not too big of a concern at this point in the run. You're going to be picking an E-tank up in the next 6 or 7 minutes or so. And unlike the new route where you go to Fantoon first, you're just heading to Kraid now, so not too scary of a boss, especially when you get the quick kill. Now we see Maniacal coming up to the first sequence break. It's going to be doing a mock ball on this crumbling block bridge, going under those gates that normally require speed booster. And he's got his early super missiles now, which will let him skip over Spore Spawn and just head right over into Red Tower. Diddy also with a nice mock ball, he'll be picking up his early supers. Fortunately for this part of the run, ammo is not too big of a concern. As long as you're not kojacting a bunch of supers around, you should have plenty of ammo going into Kraid to pull off whatever kind of quick kill you like to do, whether it's the charge and 4 supers or 2 missiles, 3 supers method. Alright, both the runners got Charge Beam, one of the best items in this run, will be used quite frequently. And Maniacal coming up to the new bridge here. Remembering to hold that dash button. Well done. And as expected, he is going to be going down Red Tower, which means he's doing Kraid first. And I applaud him for that. Ooh, unfortunately getting grabbed by the Yapping Maw there. That's always a little painful, especially without a suit, but he got out of there pretty quickly. So that'll give Di10Kong a little bit of time to catch up here. Maniacal with a well-placed jump gets just enough room to wall jump up into Kraid's lair. Oh, that was a nice D-boost off that Zila. He'll be heading into Kraid shortly, and Diddy... Oh, that was pretty cool. He angled down to shoot that bottom super block out. He's also getting a nice wall jump to get up into Kraid's lair. And Maniacal will be at crate in just a couple of seconds here. So this is a pretty big moment. The quick kill on crate isn't too bad, but we've seen a lot of really experienced runners miss it from time to time, so it's certainly not free. And Maniacal with that nice charge beam, force super. Oh, he missed one of his supers at the end, it looked like. He had Kraid's mouth frozen, right? But I think one of them just, yeah, the last one must have missed because it just took one missile to take him down. So this is really good for Diddy. If Diddy can pull off this quick kill here, which he does, he's going to catch a little bit of time on Maniacal now. Really only about a fanfare apart. Oh, it was the third super. Yeah, fortunately he hit all those other ones, and the stand-up phase he had to do was actually really short because he just needed that one missile. You can lose a lot of time to that if you accidentally miss a couple supers there. And looks like Maniacal's going to be picking up the Kraid E-Tank, which is a really nice backup to have. It's early on in the run. It makes Phantoon a lot safer. It makes Dragon a lot safer if you're going to be using Shine Sparks. And, I mean, yeah, Ridley is a little bit easier. And also you can risk getting hit by a catch-up beam later on in the Mother Brain fight. So, Kraid E-Tank doesn't take too much time to get, but it really helps out a lot all across the run. You'll see both the runners taking out that Sova, which opens up the door they came through. So they kill the Sova, open up the door so it's open the next time they come. And that way they don't have to waste their time killing that Sova again. Yeah, still like a fanfare part, so these guys not giving away too much on movement, but that missed quick kill by Maniacal kind of closed the gap a little bit. Alright, looks like Maniacal will be the first one going into Bubble Mountain. This is really the only time during the run where you're kind of just doing item collection and not heading more or less directly to a boss. They're going to want to pick up Speed Booster here, which makes getting to Wreck Ship much, much easier. And they're also going to want to grab Wave Beam, which the special beam attack for Wave Beam, known as the X Factor, is really useful for taking out a lot of these bosses quickly. And it looks like Maniacal is having a little bit of trouble getting over King Kak here. Couldn't quite get some wall jumps, but he does manage to get it now. So Diddy actually pulling in the lead now. He was able to get up Bubble Mountain without much difficulty. So he will be the first one to pick up Speed Booster. And Maniacal about a room behind now. Now this is where the run starts to get a little interesting as far as ammo goes. You'll see Diddy is taking its time here, making sure he's got an appropriate amount of supers. So you're going to need some supers to open doors. You're also going to need one for Fantoon if you want a Doppler. Really from here until like the Ridley fight, managing your ammo is really important, and knowing all the different enemies that have higher drop rates for certain items. And so we'll probably see these guys have to make some decisions based on their ammo count with what strategies they want to use and which enemies they want to farm. It looked like both of them left the Batcave with 4 super missiles, which is pretty good. I would say like 2 is like the absolute minimum you want to leave with. So 4 is a pretty solid number. There's going to be 2 more CACs on their way up to Rex ship, so those are pretty much guaranteed supers as well. So these guys should be good. So these guys got their speed booster, got their wave. Now they're ready to take on Fantoon, so they're just going to head right up to Rex ship. And they'll also be picking up some power bombs up at Red Tower so they can access Rex ship. Now, because these guys both have 3 energy tanks, they're not super tight on health as far as going into the Fantoon fight. So if they want, I think they both will probably do this, is they'll do what's called the Alpha Spark here, which is the very first Shine Spark you do in a run. And right in this room Diddy's going in, he should charge a Spark. Yeah, looks like he's going to do it. And they'll shoot open this door. Nicely done. Let's see if Maniacal does the same. Yep, both the runners do an Alpha Spark. When you only have 2 E-tanks there, it's a little sketchy doing that Spark because your health is just such a valuable resource at that point. And Diddy looked like a frog kind of caught onto him there. He had to shoot it off with a missile. That cost him a couple seconds. But, oh, Maniacal just hitting that Ripper. Trying to get up into the top of Red Tower. So Diddy will gain a little bit of time on him. I like what Maniacal did. He uses supers to take out a lot of these Rippers, because they can be really annoying trying to wall jump up there. And if you mess up the first time, they get out of sync from what you're used to. And so just using supers is a good way to recover from that. But now Diddy's got his first power bomb pack, so he can get out of Red Tower and head over to Red Ship, or Wrecked Ship now. Both of our runners spending some time in the Samus Eaters. Not where you want to be, but again, they got a lot of health, so that's not really a concern at the moment. And you'll see Diddy is choosing to farm up these Kek attacks, getting a couple more supers, because like I said, there's a lot of doors that require supers. There's also Ghidorahs that are much faster to use supers on. And if they want to Doppler Fantoon, they'll probably want a super missile to finish the fight. Alright, now let's see if Diddy's going to go for Ocean Fly here. He's charging up a Spark. It looks like he's going to go for it. He's going to come into this room. Ooh, okay. So he wanted to shoot the door open in the next room and then spark through it without crashing into the door. And it looks like both of them are going to try it at the same time. Oh, I think Maniacal is just going to skip it. Okay, Diddy skipped it too. That's alright. Ocean Fly doesn't save really that much time. And also, depending on your health, you may not even want to do it. So Diddy getting another spark, which lets him cross the ocean here. And Maniacal will be doing the same. Maniacal having a little bit of trouble with the sparks. He's done quite a few goop sparks now. Manages to get that one across though. So both of these guys are coming into Fantoon with a little over 100 energy, which is pretty good. If you're going to be doing X Factors in this fight, you kind of expect to get hit a lot. And with Various Suit, Fantoon is going to do 20 damage. So really these guys can take 4 or 5 hits without being in too much danger. Now, based on Diddy not having Power Bomb selected, he might be doing a Doppler, or he could also be doing an off-screen X Factor. Now, Diddy starts off with the slow. Okay, Maniacal also getting a slow, so no time difference there. But Diddy actually wasn't able to get any missiles off on Fantoon in the first round, whereas Maniacal did. So they're kind of even right now. It looked like Diddy got a little bit more damage in based on the color. Ooh, okay, Diddy got a mid there, and Maniacal getting another slow. Maniacal with some pretty good looking Dopplers right now. He's getting quite a bit of damage in. Remember, Fantoon is vulnerable. Ooh, now Maniacal's got to be a little careful. He's 3 hits away from dying. 2 hits away now. Okay, back to 3. I think he'll super this round. Okay, no, he didn't get enough missiles in there for his Doppler. And Diddy, he's got to be, yeah, he's really close. He just needed 1 missile and super, and he's done with Fantoon now. I think Maniacal will be done after this round. He might not even Doppler. Nah, I didn't even need to. Just needed a missile and super there. Alright, so Diddy still holding a little bit of a lead, but I think Maniacal might have made up a little bit of time on him in that fight. And you'll see Diddy not super comfortable with the energy he's at right now. I'm suspecting he's going to want to be doing a spark when he gets up in the attic, which consumes a lot of energy. So I would not be surprised to see these runners farming up a couple enemies before they get there. And both these guys picking up their second and final super missile pack of the run. They shouldn't really pick up any more missiles either unless they grab the moat ones on accident. So both these guys seem pretty comfortable with 20 and 10. And it does look like Diddy is going to go for the right side, laying a power bomb to take out these enemies. And then he's going to do a spark here. And Maniacal... Oh no, Diddy actually doing the speed keep while Maniacal doing the spark. That speed keep is... it's pretty tough. I gotta give props to Diddy for going for that. But it looked like Maniacal just got through a little bit cleaner, so he's pulling ahead now. But Diddy's still not too far behind. And... okay, he farmed there a little bit. Looks like Maniacal's gonna farm some of these enemies. Whereas Diddy is just running through. Okay, he's gonna farm these last couple. Got a nice super drop. Now, Maniacal's got to be a little bit careful here. These spikes do 30 damage. And if he runs well, he can only get hit twice, but if you get caught up on some of the spikes, it can easily turn into like 4 or 5. So he went back and farmed that room up a little bit to get some more energy. Now he should be good as long as he doesn't get caught on some spikes. Looks really good so far. Yeah, only manages 2 hits, so nicely done. Now, Diddy has a lot of health right now, which is great. He has more than enough to reach Batwoon and not really risk dying there. But Maniacal really doesn't have a ton of health, so he's probably going to want to farm up some Cax on his way into Meridia. But Diddy is very low on supers right now, so he's definitely going to want to farm some Cax, and he may even farm a little bit in Hellway in order to up his super count. Because you're going to need 1 super just to get into the Aqueduct, and you also want it for the Batwoon fight. Assuming you go for an X-Factor opener and land all the particles, you need 6 super missiles in order to take Batwoon down. So really these guys want like a minimum of like 9 going into Meridia. Now, power bomb counts. Maniacal, he's good to go. Diddy is also good to go, assuming he gets a power bomb drop off Batwoon, so we might see him farm up a frog just to be safe and not risk it. But we'll see what they do. And as expected, Diddy picking up a couple supers off these Cax. Maniacal, since he is full on supers, if he decides to farm the Cax, they're actually going to give him big health drops. And looking at his current health, that might not be a bad idea. So yeah, Maniacal's going to farm both of these guys. He's at pretty good health now himself. And again, his ammo is looking really solid. Diddy only with 6 supers though, so that means he's going to have to make up some damage on Batwoon either with regular missiles or charge shots. He will get 1 more super missile here off the CAC. Okay, so he could have enough supers to get a 1 round, but the reason I said 9 earlier is that you also want a super missile in order to open a Ghidorah going into Dragon very shortly after, and there's also another door that requires a super. So going in with 9, you don't rely on any RNG from drops or anything, but 7 is actually the technical minimum here. Alright, it looks like Diddy had a little bit of trouble climbing up the fishbowl room. Had to take a couple tries at getting a short charge there, but he's heading up into Aqueduct now. Maniacal coming to fishbowl, not too far behind. Now Diddy did use a super missile to take out one of the fish, so getting a 1 round would be pretty difficult for him, whereas Maniacal has a lot of supers to spare. So the Batwoon fight could be a place for Maniacal to catch up a bit. And it looked like Diddy landed all of his particles. I think he missed 1 super, so he needs 600 more damage, which is like 4 charge shots, maybe more. Yeah, I think it was 4. Ooh, unfortunately, it looked like Maniacal didn't have all of his particles hit, so he's gonna have to wait for that particle to either fade away or hit somewhere on Batwoon. And it looks like they're gone now, so you can start using some supers. And Di10Kong picking up his 4th E-Tank, the Batwoon tank, which is pretty much always picked up in any percent, unless there's like a weird circumstance. But ooh, okay, so Diddy, he's good on ammo. Maniacal ideally wants 1 more super in order to reach Dragon quickly. He might not even bother farming, but We'll see. And it looks like Diddy, he's actually going to farm up. He probably wants more supers, I would think, for the fight. I think that's pretty much why anyone would farm there, since they do already get the health refill with the E-Tank. And it looked like they both wanted to go for... Or I don't think Maniacal wanted to go for Happy, but it looked like Diddy was trying, but kind of missed a couple wall jumps and had to forego it. Oh, both of these guys were really close now. I didn't catch it, but I think Maniacal actually got a super drop off of one of the Metroids, which was great. So it gave him enough for that green door and this Ghidorah here. So you didn't have to waste time shooting missiles at it. And now these guys are moving on to Dragon. This fight can also give one runner a big edge if they have a nice fight, and the other one kind of has a rough time. I think both these guys are going to try to use Shine Sparks here. And if something goes wrong, you miss a Spark Bat, or you can't get the charge just right, you can get grabbed. You can just get cursed with a bunch of swoops. So a lot of room for variance in this fight. It looks like Diddy is having a pretty strong fight. He's going to try to finish with ammo. Couldn't quite do it. But he should just need one more spark. Oh my god, okay. Diddy did a spark from behind Dragon, which is really risky to do. And he took some massive chain damage there. He was basically stuck in Dragon's hitbox as she was dying, and I guess his iframes just like don't reset, or they go out really quick or something, but he was not very well protected there, and he took a lot of damage, and fortunately he got out of there just in time and didn't take a death. So he's got his blue suit, he's heading out of Dragon now, got his space jump. Maniacal, yeah, didn't get his blue suit there. I think he might have had some dash speed when he went to do the Shine Spark. So no blue suit for him. But Diddy's got a pretty decent lead at this point now, just from that Dragon fight. Alright, now you see Diddy. He's farming up some of these cacks here. Ammo is still pretty important at this point in the run. Right around here, you need a minimum of 4 supers to kind of proceed for the rest of the game. You might want more in case you miss them, trying to do some faster strats, but Diddy up to 6 now. He should be pretty good on supers for the most part for the rest of the game. Maniacal, his ammo, his health and ammo are looking pretty solid. He should pick up a couple cac drops coming up here, so he should be coming up on at least 4 supers. Yeah, looks like he's gonna farm a couple of these guys here. And now Diddy coming up to the most powerful beam in the game, Plasma Beam. And it's going to be really useful up against Ridley and Mother Brain. Only requiring 20 shots on both those bosses once comboed with the Ice Beam, which is the next item pickup. Now another important resource here is power bombs. You're going to need quite a number of power bombs in order to open doors in Lower Norfair, as well as break through some blocks. And it looks like both these guys are pretty set. As long as they don't misuse any of them, I don't think we'll see any power bombs of shame pickups. But both these guys looking really good on their their ammo. Diddy is probably a little lower than he wants on health, but there's some safe strategies he can use in order to not lose a ton. They are power bombs of shame because there is no reason to really pick them up unless you mismanage your power bombs in Lower Norfair. So, when you do have to pick them up, it is a little shameful. Yeah, I believe only the top like 10% of runs or so are actually new route runs. So most people, at least as far as numbers on the leaderboard, do old route, even though you're probably very familiar with new route, watching some of the top guys play. And it looks like Diddy, he is taking the southern route, getting into Lower Norfair, which, to my knowledge, is just barely faster, but it's a little harder to execute correctly. And another benefit of going this way is you can pick up the Nutella refill like Diddy just did, bringing him back to full energy. And it looks like Maniacal also going to be taking that southern route, although he is really full on ammo, or not ammo, energy, so he's not going to have to take the Nutella refill. But yeah, Diddy going into Lower Norfair now, his ammo, well, he could have another power bomb, which would be nice, but as long as he doesn't overuse them, he should be fine in power bombs. But he's looking really good. Maniacal, his counts are also looking really good. So I don't expect these guys to have too much trouble here. Now Diddy going over to this room to the left to get some room in order to charge a spark. And he'll just spark right through these pillars, which is good because he is short a power bomb, and using power bombs there might be a little problematic coming up when he needs to open some yellow doors. Making worst room in the game look easy. Diddy is through there. Now Maniacal just getting into Lower Norfair, coming up to the pillars room. Let's see how he handles it. It looks like he is just going to go for a very tight short charge here inside the room. Oh, he did get blue there, but he didn't manage to get the spark off in time. It looks like he's going to go back in the room. No, okay. He might have thought about doing the spark again, but he's just going to use power bombs here to break the blocks, which is perfectly fine since he's full on power bombs at the moment. And looks like Diddy, he managed his power bombs all right. He's going to have one here to break through these power bomb blocks. And we will not see PBs of shame from him. Ooh, and Diddy, instead of using charge shots here to take out the pirates, he's actually going with the new route strategy, where you use a shine spark on the ceiling, and you use your speed echoes to take out the pirates. That was pretty cool that he used that. But like I said, they don't ammo's not really that big of a concern at this point. Mostly because you'll see Diddy just got a ton of supers off of those pirates, and you'll probably get a lot of supers off of Ridley too. So usually ammo is not a problem at this point in the run. But anyways, Diddy is now in the Ridley fight. He's got a lot of health, so he can take a lot of hits, but with his current beam combo, which is the best one in the game, only takes 20 shots to take out Ridley, so should be a pretty quick fight for him regardless. And it looks like he's about halfway dead now. Yeah. Now Maniacal coming into the pirate room. Looks like he's going to do it with the typical old route strategy, where he's going to let these pirates come and attack him, and then he's going to shoot them with some plasma ice wave shots. He does that nicely. Now he'll be coming up into Ridley here in just a moment, and it looks like Diddy is done with the fight. Not sure if these guys are going to pick up a Ridley tank. I feel like they're not going to do it, but to be safe, they might want to grab it. Looks like Diddy is going to skip it for sure. Okay, ideally Diddy wants one more power bomb here to make things a little faster. He'll be okay with two though. You do need one just to leave this room here, and the other two are just like kind of optional, and they make things a little faster. So he's good. Maniacal doing his Ridley fight. Looks like he's more than halfway dead now. Not having too much trouble. I think Ridley's dead. Yeah, Ridley is dead for Maniacal, so both of our runners now done with all 4 G4 bosses. So they'll just be heading up there now into Torian, and Maniacal also skipping the Ridley tank. So both these runners are going to be completing this run with 4 E-tanks and 20 missiles and 10 super missiles. And like I said, both these guys are just full on missiles, full on supers. There's a lot of good sources of ammo in Lower Norfair, at least from the pirates and Ridley, so they're not really thinking about their ammo at this point. Really, they just want to make sure they have enough health to get through here safely. Yeah, you'll see Diddy. He's just going to take his time and use some charge shots to take out these key hunters. He was a little low on health, so he didn't even want to risk getting hit by them. Those do 50 damage a pop, so not a bad idea just to play it safe there. He's up to a pretty respectable amount of health now. And it looked like he farmed a power bomb off one of the Alcoons probably. So now he's going to use it to break those pillars. And he'll also have another one in order to kind of take the shortcut through Bubble Mountain here. Alright, Maniacal coming up to the Musketeers. He's got a lot of health, so he's just going to risk running through them here and using his plasma beam to clip through them. Only took damage from one of them and still has a lot of energy, so good call by him. And Diddy is now out of Norfair. He'll be back up on the Brinstar. He's going to go through Meridia in order to reach Criteria a little faster. And he'll be at G4 shortly. And Maniacal out of Lower Norfair, making his way out of Norfair now, following in Diddy's footsteps. Now Diddy, he's pretty solid on health, got full ammo, no need to really farm any bugs there. Sometimes you might want to farm bugs if you're a little low in energy, kind of depending on what strategy you use in the first Metroid room. If you do a grouping strat there, you can lose a lot of energy, but both these guys, if they do want to do that, should have enough energy to do that strategy. But we'll see what they do when they get there. Okay, Maniacal, he is out of Brinstar, going up to Criteria, whereas Diddy is quickly approaching G4, and he'll be on his way to Torian. Now, Torian is not too crazy of an area. The Metroid rooms can give you a little bit of trouble if you mess up, and it can be a little stressful when they're draining health off of you. But the biggest thing here probably is Baby Skip. It's about 20 seconds if you get it, and if you miss it, you lose quite a bit of time from trying to attempt it, rather than just letting the baby latch onto you immediately. So Baby Skip could be a good way for Maniacal to gain some time, or if Diddy just has a little bit of trouble in the Metroid rooms and can't quite bomb them off. And it looks like just as Maniacal entering G4, Diddy's statues have fallen all the way to the bottom of the room, and he is heading into Torian. So it looks like Diddy is just going to play it safe here, not doing any crazy grouping stuff, just taking them down one by one. Minimum, they need 15 missiles and 10 super missiles coming out of the Metroid rooms if they don't want to stop for a refill. Diddy getting kind of shorted on supers here. Ooh, this is... Okay, you got a little bit more there. Hopefully he gets at least 2 supers here and retains his max missiles, and then he'll be okay. Okay, Diddy, he's got full ammo now, so he'll have 5 missiles of leeway when he gets to Mother Brain 1. Maniacal's looking really good on ammo. He's getting his health filled up again. So he shouldn't have any ammo issues, really. As long as this room doesn't... Oh, okay, he's got 7 now, too. Should be okay with just 2 super drops. Hopefully he uses some missiles here. Oh no, he risks it with a super. But he does... He is up to 20 and 9 now. So he will have a little bit of leeway. And Di10Kong going for the baby skip, looking really good. Nicely done. That is that trick is a lot harder than it looks, let me tell you. And there's no good way to teach that trick. You just have to like do it a couple hundred times and just like figure it out. Because that baby does not move how you think it would. And Maniacal's gonna be going for the baby skip too, using those lag strats. And he's got all the vines clear that he needs. Oh! Didn't quite time his last jump correctly there. So he does get grabbed by the baby, unfortunately. So he's going to have to go take a health refill off to the left, whereas Diddy got to skip that. Oh, Diddy getting his super sniped. Okay, he's good. He uses up all of his ammo, but he's got Mother Brain 1 down. So he is 20 charge shots away now from essentially finishing the game. There is one more boss fight after, but I would say 99.9% of the time you are pretty safe at that point. Alright, Diddy into the catch-up phase. He can take potentially one... Oh, okay. So he went to damage himself down to under... to 399 or lower energy. Because if you're not at under 100 right here after the rainbow beam, Mother Brain will try to damage you down to under 100. But it looked like he kind of turned around a little bit when he was hitting Mother Brain and took a couple extra hits, and fortunately didn't fall below that 300 mark, or else that rainbow beam would have took him out. So that was a little scary. But he is in there cleanly. Maniacal starting with his Mother Brain 2. Already a quarter of the way through the fight. This is really a fast one. We'll only see one catch-up beam for both the players if they do this fight well. Yep, and it looks like Maniacal got his Mother Brain 2 down just fine. Damaging himself down. And both the runners should complete this run pretty easily now. And Diddy's got quite a bit of a lead here, so unless something really catastrophic happens in the escape, it looks like he'll probably take this one away. Alright, final boss fight for Diddy. Mother Brain 3. He's got his Hyper Beam, which just annihilates her. Using that corner strat. And he is all done. He is one escape sequence away from taking this race. Based on that kill time, it looks like he's going to do like a low 55, which is pretty close to his PB. So it seems like a really solid run for Diddy. Alright, Maniacal on his Mother Brain 3. Okay, yeah, this is, that's kind of the 0.1% there when, she just kind of charges at you and all of a sudden you're taking a lot of damage, but looks like he, caught himself a little bit and he's through just fine now. And Diddy out of Torian now. Nice Behemoth Spark up the climb. And he is just 2 rooms away from the ship now. The only question left is, will Diddy go and save the animals? And I'm willing to bet he is not. No, he is going to let him die. And yeah, it looks like a low 55 for him, so really close to his PB. And Di10Kong has finished with an official SRL time of 55:09, beating his personal best race time by 9 seconds. So GG to Diddy on a very strong run. Only 15 seconds from his actual PB. Nicely done. And Maniacal, he is now out of Torian, also with a nice Behemoth Spark. Oh, he didn't have enough energy, though, from the Mother Brain 3 fight, so his Spark actually gets cut short, but he does manage to catch himself on a platform. He is out of the climb, up into the parlor. And now the question, is Maniacal going to be saving the animals? No, he is not. Both the runners making an excellent decision there. And it looks like he's going to be finishing up with the low 56. Alright, now Maniacal done with an official SRL time of 56:15. GG to Maniacal. Really solid race from both of these guys. Both of them within about a minute of their PB. Diddy really close to his PB, actually. And that was a pretty exciting race. They were very close for a lot of that. Yeah, guys, if you enjoyed watching these two duke it out here, make sure you throw both of these guys a follow. That is Di10Kong or Di10Kong and Maniacal42. Both of them were really solid runners of this game. Both pretty cool guys. So yeah, drop them a follow. Yeah, I want to word Elm here that this race is definitely the embodiment of the final round of Swiss. We've seen a lot of really cool matchups, really kind of starting around like round 3 even, but especially like 5 and 6. So many of these races have just been like nail biters. Even the Scotty McBody and Blue Plasma Spark race, which unfortunately was not streamed but happened earlier today. I think it was only 15-second difference for those two or something like that. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of really close races now. And it looks like we do have another race starting right now between InnoRush and Cerberoth, and I'm gonna have Punk come in here to alleviate me a little bit for the commentary. We'll both be doing it. Yeah, and that should be starting pretty soon here, so hang tight while we get these two ready to go.